Hello, I'd like to show you how to integrate your CRM system into Map My Customers. Now, why might you want to do this? Because you want to reduce the amount of manual entry with either your work or your sales reps' work into CRM. It can help you get more data out of your reps if it's easier to use our tool than your CRM system, which it oftentimes is. It can be beneficial to have that sync set up so that anything you have happening in the field is getting back into the CRM system you might use at your desk. So to get started with this sync, just click the settings gear up here, and I'll move my little picture. We're going to go over to the integrations tab, and we have a HubSpot connection already set up. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. You can choose one of the four you see here, the four major CRMs being HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoho, and Dynamics. If you need a custom integration, we can provide that too. In this case, we're going to go ahead and click HubSpot. I'll click Got It. We'll just choose one of our test accounts here. And here we can see the next step is it brings us to a field mapping, right? Now, the first step in the setup process is you have to map users from the CRM to users in Map My Customers. So we can see here by default, we do not have everything mapped out. We can map, here we could map JT to if JT was on this account, he would show up there. We have Matt to Matt, so on and so forth, right? So you would map everybody up. Anybody who's mapped will be syncing their data. If they are not mapped, we will not be syncing that data. Second step is the fields, right? So this is where you have to go through each object in CRM, and these actually collapse, right, a little bit. So we've got people, company, activities, and deals. And ultimately, you can map these one by one, right? So you're going to need to take a look at the field that's in CRM on the left, match it on the right to what you want, and you'll then be able to go to the next step after that. A couple important notes here is, first off, if you want to sync notes, you just have to check the box. There will be a box at the top of each entity for that object type, right? So if I open up companies, there's a notes box for companies, and the same way that there was a notes box for people. Creating group, this will actually take all the unique values from that field and make groups instantaneously inside of MMC. So that's about it. Before you move to the next step, you need to match the CRM fields that are all required for the objects that you're syncing, right? So I'm going to actually go through and not sync these fields. Actually, let me just do these two required fields real quick. Signee. There we go. And the next step is to determine frequency of the sync and when to sync it, right? So we can do daily, weekly, monthly. If you need to do it more frequently, we can offer that as well. We go down to 5 minutes. When should sync begin? You can choose that time here. That will be the point in time with which data starts to move over. And you can also receive emails with integration details after each sync as well. Now, one thing I do want to mention is for MMC, we do have a one-way sync and a two-way sync. And so during the setup process, by default, in the free trial version, we have just the incoming sync working, which means we're syncing data from CRM into MMC. But if you're an upgraded user, you can also sync outgoing, right? You can send updates to CRM as well. And once you get this all set up, you'll click Finalize, return to the dashboard. You don't have to click that though. You will see that on the Integrations tab, we actually have the last sync for each object type, which direction it's going. If it's going both directions, you'll see two arrows, the status of this, and that it's currently syncing, right? Down here is where you'll see a list of all the individual syncs as they happen, right? So if you're syncing once a day, you'll see a list of each individual sync each day of the week. And if you'd like to remove your sync, you can just click delete right here. So a bit of a longer tutorial here today, but very valuable stuff. And ultimately, if you are using CRM, MMC can make your data cleaner. We can get you more data on your sales team back into CRM, more activity data, more opportunity data, and ultimately give you much more robust reporting.